to be asked by a fellow panelists. First of all, we really appreciate now the role of diaspora in development of our countries, development of the continent of Africa. But I have to be honest, this appreciation has come very late. And you know the history of the African continent. Previously, when we got independence, we trained our young people so that they are able to manage the economies of the young nations just getting independence from the colonial powers. And some of these young people, when they came to Europe, they did not go back. So there was a mentality in Africa that Africans living abroad are not patriotic. They are not going back home to support their economies. This is the mentality that existed. But now there are so many, and most of them are even going back home. Of course, African economies are growing very fast than most of the European economies. So most of them are relocating to Africa, and the African Union has recognized this. When you look at the rate of the amount of remittances coming from abroad to Africa, it's more than foreign aid. It's more than foreign aid plus foreign direct investment combined. Tanzania alone, a year, gets around $360 million as remittances. And remittances go straight to the families of the people, and they really, really help. They educate the people and so on and so on. So we recognize this. And definitely, African governments have to put much emphasis. But also we have to get role models in terms of institutions, the institutions that we are mentioning. For example, I don't know if there exists an association of engineers from Tanzania who are in diaspora, but there are from Cameroon. So we can use a Cameroonian example. Thank you. We can use Cameroonian example to show the Tanzanians on how they can do. We have to learn from it. This is new concept. This is something that Africans have to learn, and also the people in diaspora have to use various forums that are happening, a forum like this, but also they have to attend the summit of the African Union. They have to meet with our ambassadors. They have to see that they have also a role. They shouldn't wait to be approached by the government. Themselves, they have to come up and engage with their fellows.
Now, Dambisa Moyo, the Zambian writer who grew up in America, she wrote Dead Aid. I mean, that's exactly what she writes about. She talks about, dead aid, and she talks about the role of the diaspora and says that that is like one of 5 sort of pillars of development, of economic development in a country, and the transfer of money should be made easier. Also, Dambisa Moyo hat ein Buch geschrieben, Dead Aid, in dem sie die Sambierin, die in Amerika lebt und als Denkerin arbeitet, für Goldman Sachs, unter anderem auch, die hat ganz klar beschrieben, dass die Diaspora und Afrikaner, die im Ausland leben, eine Stütze sind der wirtschaftlichen Entwicklung eines Landes, das fordert sie auch, und sie fordert aber auch dass es einfach einfacher gemacht wird, dass sozusagen die Banken es einfacher machen, Geld zu transferieren. Das ist zum Beispiel auch etwas, was bislang nicht passiert. James Shikwati, einer der kritischen Wissenschaftler, der sich sehr kritisch über Entwicklungshilfe äußert, sagt genau dasselbe. Dass man auf dieses Wissen nicht zurückgreifen muss und nicht verzichten darf. Aber die Wahrheit ist ja die, viele der im Ausland Studierten kommen zurück und sind völlig frustriert, schon nach kürzester Zeit, weil sie merken, die Unternehmen, die sie gründen wollten, scheitern an irgendwelchen bürokratischen Hürden. Und es ist ja also auch nicht alles so einfach, auch gerade in einem Land wie Tansania. Wie würden Sie als Präsident von Tansania das in Ordnung bringen?
First of all, it is very true that most countries in Africa are still emerging from a controlled economy, from a planned economy. So we expect these red tapes and bribery and corruption. We would expect that. And we are trying to reform. In some countries now, it is very easy to form a company. For example, in Rwanda, you can form a company in 3 days in Rwanda, you know. Yes. And now
but you have many women in parliament.
Burundi is doing the same. Ethiopia also is opening up. Some African countries are really, really opening up. My appeal to my brothers and sisters in diaspora is to learn the environment in the countries they are going back to. Because this is a problem that we see. I've met a lot of them. First of all, and this is very bad, they think they know better than their colleagues they left at home. This has to change. This attitude has to change. They also have to recognize the knowledge of the local environment there. So also they have to take that opportunity to learn and follow up what is going on in the country and see how they can participate in a way of doing the reforms. We understand, we appreciate the challenges that are existing, but we're encouraging the Africans in diaspora to learn the situation on the ground, to know the rules on the ground, and be able to avoid bribery and nepotism that is existing in some of the African countries.